Hi, I'm Sammy Ferber. I play Mark on the 20th Anniversary National Tour of Rent, and I am from Deerfield, Illinois, which is a little suburb of Chicago. Freeze frame. So my training was pretty intensive. When I was in high school, besides doing school shows and that kind of stuff, I also trained at this place called the Actors Training Center at the Wilmette Theater in Wilmette, Illinois. And I trained in their repertory company for high schoolers. So it was essentially a professional style environment with only high school aged actors. They treated us like professionals. They expected professional quality. It was sort of like a boot camp type training. It was really intense, but it was incredibly helpful for me in learning how to do what I do. And then I went to NYU for 2 years. Happened to be in a production of Rent at NYU my sophomore year. Also happened to just be around the time where they were starting to cast the tour. So they sent someone from the casting team to the production, and they saw me and they were like, "Hey, why don't you come in for callbacks?" And the rest is history. Here I am. Auditioning is tough. Auditioning it never gets easy, but what I would say is changing your mindset will help a huge amount. Instead of going into the room and thinking about, what do I have to do to impress these people behind the bench and all that kind of stuff, think about that these people that you're walking into the room for have a problem in that they need to cast their show, and they would love for them to just have this day of auditions and then have it be done because they found their people. So walk into that room knowing, because you're such a good artist and because you've prepared and because you've worked hard, knowing that you're walking into that room to solve their problem. That you could walk out and they'll be like, done, check, easy, let's look at the other characters now. So it helps you walk in with a little bit more confidence so you don't feel like you need to second guess everything that you do. I tend to measure a year in creative ideas. I'm constantly jumping from project to project. There's a lot of ideas rattling around in this head of mine, and so I'm constantly working on one thing and then working on another, and so that's I'd say that's how I measure a year. There's so many amazing songs in Rent that when I have to think about what my favorite one is, it's constantly changing depending on the show. Obviously, Seasons of Love is iconic and it's just incredible to sing every night. What You Own is just fun, and Rent, the title song, all these are just like fun and cathartic and they feel great. But I have to say that my all-time favorite Rent song is the I'll Cover You Reprise, just because it's so raw and so emotional and the music is so beautiful that it just fits the moment perfectly. I mean, you can't get better than that. I just booked it, like it's done. If I jumped over the moon, I think I would find a lot of space and a lot of really pretty stars. Not a lot of oxygen, but maybe there'd be a cow there floating away into, the vacuum of space. Just something nice to think about before you go to bed.
Yeah.
The first thing I do in any new city is find the food. For me, I figure out what a city is like by figuring out how a city eats. So if there's any sort of local specialty, I always try to find that. And because, I work weird hours, so by the time I'm out of a show at like 11 o'clock at night, I gotta make sure I know where the food is. Would I dress like Mark? Well, I'm sort of already dressed like Mark. I didn't intend to, but yeah, I mean, I'm not that big of a sweater person, but I'm certainly, it's funny, I originally came on this tour with a coat that was very similar to the Mark coat, and then I realized that it was way too similar to the Mark coat, so I had to just leave it at home. I was like, I can't do this. This is absurd. But yes, I would absolutely dress like my character. Here at the Counter Palace Theater, come see Rent. We're here for 3 weeks. I'll be there. You should be there too.